Hello, my beautiful besties. It's your girl Nelly. If you're part of my nail crew, welcome back. And if you're not, consider subscribing right now and become part of my amazing nail crew. So here I had already applied my PLF method, my tips, and a thin layer of clear acrylic just in case I bump the nails. And of course, I am going to be wearing my 4XL stiletto nails. These are my absolute favorite. So the colors that I'm going to use are the colors that I created not too long ago. So these colors I made myself. I'm also going to use the glitter collection. I kind of wanted to incorporate both of them and see what I can come up with. All I knew is that I wanted to create flowers because it's flower season. It's Mother's Day. Well, by the time you guys see this video, it's already passed, but happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. This is the cover color that I'm going to be using today. And so technically this is, even though I recorded it way ahead of time, this is my Mother's Day set. So this morning, I don't know if you can see in the back, my mug. I woke up, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, well, because, okay, let me explain what happened before so you can understand. So, this was Monday morning already, and I had woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, the reason for that is because I worked Saturday, and I worked until 3. It was a very, I would say, difficult day. It was just me and the pharmacist majority of the day, and we had a lot of scripts. There was a huge order. It was a hot mess, and I got out of work very tired that day, but I had made my daughter a promise. I had promised her that I was going to take her dress shopping because she needs a dress for her dance, for my youngest daughter, because my oldest daughter already has her prom dress thanks to my older sister, who purchased a dress for her. So we still needed to buy some things for her as well. So I figure, let's just have a girls' day out and, let's have fun. That is not what happened. So first of all, I felt bad because my youngest daughter had invited some of her friends and no one showed up. And she was upset, and I was like, man, like I'm trying to give you a fun time. Like here I am thinking about, the effort that I'm trying to do and not really thinking about how she's feeling at the moment, which is definitely my bad. And I later understood that thanks to a friend of mine who's a lot younger. And she kind of sits in between, like, teenagers and adults. So she gave me a better view of things. And yeah, so that happened. If I pause the video, it's because it's 5 o'clock in the morning and I had to do this voiceover at this time because otherwise I don't have any other time to do it. I gotta go to work really soon. So I'm gonna do a full cover of this nude on my pointer finger and my ring finger. And those are the nails that I'm gonna do the flowers. So those are technically my accent nails. I chose not to use a lot of bling for this set because I did not want to cover the glitter. Once that top coat hits, I promise you, bestie, you're gonna love it. I'm in love with the colors. I'm very happy that I did this collection. I'm very pleased with it. I'm very excited for those who got the collections, and I can't wait to hear what they think of the acrylics. Again, this is something that I do for fun, and if I happen to have extras, then, So the blue one is called Blueberry Dreams. Of course, I did not give these names. People in the chat were giving them names. Starstruck is the pink. And of course, my bestie was writing down names. Sunkiss is the yellow one. So I'm very grateful that she's such a big help. Tangled Dreams is the orange one. And Poison Ivy is the green one. Again, these are mixes that I made during a live. And then the last one is Violet Fairy Dust. And this is the purple one. All of them are very, very beautiful. So I decided to kind of do a rainbow with them because I had so many ideas. Like, I wasn't sure if I was going to use like all 5 colors, like one color per nail, and then do flowers on top. But I kind of wanted each thing to kind of, I don't know, like show its individual beauty. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but I didn't want to like put them together. I don't know why. If I had made the nails all glitter and then the flowers, that would kind of ruin you seeing the glitter a little bit. And that's the reason why I didn't use much bling. Like I literally did minimum bling. I even did that off camera because I've done that same design 1,000 times in my videos. So you're gonna see me doing a rainbow as best as I can. I'm trying to fit all the colors. At this point, I wasn't sure if all the colors were gonna fit, but I tried my best. I hope you enjoyed this video. So let me start by giving my shout out. So shout out to everyone who takes the time to watch my videos. Shout out to everyone who likes, comments, and share my videos. It helps me out a lot here on YouTube. Shout out to everyone who's new to my channel. Welcome to my new group, bestie. Thank you so much for joining the crew. Shout out to my moderators and shout out to my Patreons. Thank you so much for your love and support and for your donation to my channel. So, let's talk about, again, that day, Saturday. It was, like I said, it was such a long day for me, and I was so exhausted, but I wanted to keep the promise that I made. And so I got out of work, I picked up my kids, I waited for them downstairs. I was like, you need to be ready by the time I get out so we can leave, because if I set foot in the house, I'm not going to want to leave. So they came downstairs, we left, we got to the mall, and I felt so bad because I noticed my youngest daughter, at one point she was crying because she really wanted her friends there. And I was like, well, I'm sorry that this happened. Can we try to enjoy this? It was really not the same. We were all tired at one point and annoyed. The mall was packed. When we first got there, it wasn't so packed, but by the time we left, it was really packed. And the good thing is that she did find a dress, which is, again, the purpose of the trip. And I was able to get some things that my oldest daughter needed. We still have to go shopping for shoes. And actually, the week that you watch this video, that's the week of my daughter's prom. So let's see. Pray for me, please. I'm very excited. I'm incredibly proud of my kids. Oh, man. When you kind of think and of all those mornings where you had to yell at them, get up, you have to go to school or do your homework and this and that. And then graduation comes and it's like, finally, it was worth it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I'm feeling. So for the middle finger, I decided to do the rainbow again, but this time starting with the green because you weren't able to see the green very much on the first nail, on the thumbnail. So that's why I'm kind of doing it in reverse here. Excuse me. So yeah, I mean, we had fun. We got home. I was exhausted. I was dead. I was so tired. When I got out of work, my feet hurt. So imagine walking through the mall twice. waiting in stores to see what dress she picks because she was obviously, trying them on and whatever. And yeah, I was exhausted. I was done with the world by the time we got home. I was like, I texted hubby. I was like, "Can you please order food?" And yeah, and then Sunday, I pay the price because I noticed that when I overwork my body, it's like my body obviously forces me to get 1 day of rest, at least 1 day. And I was in bed Sunday all day. Like I slept all day. Of course, that's due to my medication and all that. I was wearing my TENS unit and trying the best that I could. And then when I woke up, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep anymore. And it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up to a perfectly clean apartment. And I was like, what the hell happened? So while I was sleeping, hubby decided to clean because that's exactly what I was going to do on Sunday. But unfortunately, my body was like, no, you're going to stay in bed. And I was very grateful for that. I definitely still am grateful for that. Oh man. I don't know what the weather is for you guys, but yesterday was the day that I did the set. Like I said, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and it rained yesterday all day. It's going to rain all day Tuesday. Tomorrow in the morning it's going to be cloudy, and then in the afternoon we're going to have rain like all week. So yeah. Going back to the set, I am very proud of it. I'm very proud of this set. I really wanted to try the rose, trying to do like a rose, because I usually call it the pancake flower. Excuse me. I usually call it the pancake flower because that's what it usually would look. But it turns out that I'm making progress with that flower. So I'm very proud of myself for that. I can't wait for you to see the flowers. That was actually the purpose of me creating those pigments. I will be doing a 3D flower class for my members really, really soon, now that I have created the colors. And yeah, I'm very excited for that. I'm also so into conjurers classes, bro. Like I'm looking for brushes. I've always said this in every video. I suck at nail art, but she is amazing and she's very patient and very encouraging. And I'm like, let me just explain a little bit of how her last class was about. So at the moment we're doing faces. So we started with SpongeBob, which at the time I couldn't do that. I still have to go back and try that one. And then we did Patrick. And that same day she did Plimpton. So next class will be, I think it's Squidward. Anyways, point being is I had just finished doing the mixes. I had a mess on my desk. So I wasn't ready to practice. I didn't take out anything. And then, on her live, she was asking, is anybody going to do the art, or are you just going to, just watch me and then practice it later? I was like, damn it, I want to practice. I just grabbed whatever I saw first and I started with that, okay? And I always before anybody makes fun of me, trust me, I make fun of myself. So I'm looking at it right now, and I remember telling her, I think I need to send Patrick to rehab because he looks like he's on something. And it made it so fun. Like every time I would make jokes about my nail art, and she's like, oh, I'm pretty sure it looks good, stop it, this and that, because again, she's so encouraging. Now I'm on this rabbit hole looking for brushes, looking for all the things that I need because now I'm very into the classes. So definitely check her out and join her membership. It's totally worth it. Her classes are super fun. And like I said, she's very patient. She's very fun to work with. And so, anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to share that part with you because I think it was funny. Um, let's see what I learned. So I'm excited about that. So the same way I'm excited of how I'm growing regarding my 3D nail art, because again, I don't get much time to practice. I literally have a full-time job that takes a lot from me. I'm sorry that I'm clearing my throat, but it's like 5:30 in the morning, so you guys know this story already. And I think I'm getting sick too because it's, the weather here is not so great. It's warm and then it's cold and then it's warm and then it's cold, and that's how people get sick. Anyways, but I really, really love how this set turned out. I am going to encapsulate the nails. This time I decided to show you 2 nails because I wanted to show you that I do encapsulate my cover colors. That's a great way to make them last, even though I'm using it like candy. Um, and so yeah, I do, encapsulate everything. I do not show you the filing process, obviously, because everybody knows what shaping is at this point. Unless you want to see it, then let me know. Or unless I'm reviewing like a drill or something. Give me a second. Let me get a sip of coffee. So yeah, unless I'm like reviewing something, then I'll show you the filing process. But other than that, I wouldn't show it. But filing these nails was not hard. It was actually, I did this set pretty fast because even though I woke up at 3, I didn't start this set until like 4:30 because I wake up, I make my coffee, I sit down, I drink my cup of coffee. I go on social media and I check if I have any emails, and all that good stuff. And then I decided, I was like, well, I might as well give it a try. So this is what the nails look like after shaping and filing. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some top coat. And you're not going to want to miss this part, bestie, because this is when you really get to see those glitters. And I am so excited because they look so gorgeous, in my opinion. You let me know what you guys think of the glitters. And of course, I definitely want to know what you guys think of the flowers. I did show you both nails. For those of you who are learning, be patient with yourself. It takes time. It definitely takes time. And I say that because of that middle flower that I decided to start with, the rose. That's not, nail art is not easy to do, especially if you're learning it by yourself and you don't really have anybody to guide you. You're just going based off what you're seeing. So do I want to grow and do even better flowers? Heck yeah. And hopefully by next year my flowers look even better. Who knows? So here I decided to apply my Benelisa top coat. This is a really great top coat. It's not that expensive. So I definitely recommend it. I did purchase it off Amazon. So going back to the acrylics. So I was talking to my bestie yesterday and I obviously forgot that I sent her a package because I'm very forgetful. And as we were talking about the weather because I was telling her, oh my God, it hasn't stopped raining here all day. And then she was telling me how the weather was over there because unfortunately we live too far away. And she's like, oh my God, I got my package. And I was like, oh, right, I sent it to you. I cannot wait for her to try the colors, to see what she thinks of the colors and everything. And I'm very excited about the 3D flower. So these are the the colors actually. I'm sorry. I did not put the names on the labels because I was trying to not waste any label. So this is how I prepare my monomer with my acetone. You saw I didn't even count. You can go back. It was probably 6 or 7 of that dropper. I filled it. It's the smallest one that comes in the pack, and I filled it like 5 or 6 times, and then I did 1.5, which now, because I've never used this acrylic really to do 3D flowers, but now I know I can do up to 2. It all depends. This is the brush. This is a panna brush, and it's a size 4. Also, you can purchase this off of Amazon if you're interested in starting doing nail art. This is a really great brush. And so this acrylic, I love working with it. And because it gave me so much time, even though I added acetone to the monomer, I still had time to work with everything. And I don't know, I really, really enjoyed working with this acrylic. I'm sure next time I'll use the colors to maybe do some sort of designs, because I did not just make them for flowers. Well, that's a lie. I really did make them to just to make flowers, but I will also use them for other stuff. So this is me trying to create that rose. And I remember the very first time I attempted to do this flower. Oh my God, it was so bad. Again, before people make fun of me, I make fun of myself. And I still remember, and I'm laughing because I still remember I call it the pancake flower because that's literally what it looked like. It looked like a freaking pancake. At least now you can see, different stuff. You can actually tell it's an actual flower. And I added too many petals to the flower too, so that didn't help. I think I practiced this flower maybe 4 or 5 times overall. So you start with your main 3 big petals, and then, at the time when I was doing the center petals, I did, I don't know, I think 3 more. So I kind of had to flatten it more, and that's what made it look more like a pancake. But this time, after I did the 3 petals on the outside, I just did 2 on the inside, and then I did the middle part of the flower, which you're gonna see really, really soon. So I hope you're enjoying this part of the video. I hope that this video helps you. I know a lot of people are more visual learners like myself, and technically this is how I learn. So for the middle part, I just put the bead there, and it sat there for a few seconds. I wanted the acrylic to kind of start to set, because that will give me more flexibility to work with it. And then I kind of give the centerpiece a bit more of a lift, meaning I don't flatten it as much. But yeah, it looks, in my opinion, it looks much better than the first one that I ever did. If you go back to my videos, I think it was a red set. I remember the flower was red. But anyways, at this point, I really wasn't sure how I was going to go about with the flowers. Where was I going to place them? How I was going to, use all these colors. I know I used the green only to do leaves. That doesn't mean that you can't use it as, to do flowers with it, because you absolutely can. Art is art, and it doesn't matter what you do. Art, in my opinion, is art. So I started using the centerpiece as a color orange, and then I decided to do the petals in yellow. Excuse me. And then I decided to do the kind of simple circle petals. And as you can see, as one bead is setting, I place another one, and that's technically how I do it. And of course, every acrylic is different, especially if you're doing 3D nail art. I do want you to keep that in mind, because you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, she used so much acetone. Some people say use 3 drops. Listen, it all depends on how your acrylic works. I myself, for example, I like to work with slow setting acrylics because they're great for beginners. I love the consistency of this acrylic because it will allow you more, it will give you more time to work with it. So that's, kind of why I chose it. And so I do different types of petals. I did the round ones. This one's I'm gonna do the longer ones, but just in a smaller form. And I'm sorry that the phone is not focusing. I do hope that I'm able to capture a majority of it though. But yeah, I mean, just let me know your thoughts. That's like the most important thing for me right now. So as that petal is that bead is setting, then I, wait a few seconds and then go and start working on it. And that again, it all depends on the type of acrylic. There's different kinds of acrylics that set faster than others. So my first suggestion to you, if you're going to start doing 3D nail art, is try the acrylic without the the acetone. My apologies, bestie. I really had to cough, so I had to pause the voiceover. So try the acrylic before you add any acetone to the monomer. And because there's some acrylics, some colored acrylics actually, that they set really fast on its own. Or it could be also the monomer that you're using. If you have a fast setting monomer, you might not need to add acetone to it. You know what I'm saying? So try things first to see how it goes and then take it from there. That would be my very first advice. Technically, that would be my second advice. My first advice is get yourself a good 3D art brush, because I have one in particular here that I bought. Is also, I think it's also from the Pana brand, and that brush is way too big, like way too big. I tried working with it, and since it picks up so much monomer, the flowers that I tried that day were horrible. So I was like, no, I'd rather stick to my number 4. I'm good with that one. I can still do bigger flowers. And it's not like I'm going to do flowers for a competition or anything. You know what I'm saying? So I just stick with this one. I like it. It works. So it's really up to you if you want to purchase it. But I'm telling you right now, I've had this brush for over a year. At one point, it started to look like it was losing its shape because I was really aggressive with it. But the trick to it is when you clean it, make sure that when you're drying it, to help it go back to the way it was. And so I was able to fix it. So that's great. The trick is to really take care of your brushes. It doesn't matter if it's a 3D brush, if it's an acrylic brush, period, and it's a Kolinsky brush. I know they're expensive to some people, but it's an investment, like I said, and it's going to last you a really long time if you really take care of it. I get this question a lot. How do you take care of your brushes? Everyone works differently. Everyone buys different stuff. I just use the monomer. I'm not gonna lie. I don't go buying brush cleansers or anything like that. I just make sure that while I'm doing the set, I'm constantly cleaning my brush. And even though sometimes I do get carried away, the more pressure you make, the more the acrylic is gonna get stuck in the bristles. And that's a fact. So after I finish the set, I clean the brushes, right? But then after I finish everything and I clean my desk, I put everything away, I pour some more clean monomer into a dish and I re-clean them again. And sometimes a week goes by and I don't touch the brushes before I use them. I clean them again and then I use them. So it's, you know, just cleaning the brushes constantly that will make those brushes last. Like I literally have a brush that it looks so freaking bad. It looked horrible, bestie, horrible. But, you know, taking care of it and cleaning it properly has made it, excuse me, has made it last. I've had this brush for like 3 years now and it looks so bad that I added bling to it. So that's the brush that I was using earlier, actually. I love that brush. Unfortunately, that brand, I don't know, went out of business or is no longer selling the brushes, which is a shame because I like the shape of the brush. I like that the bristles are longer and it's not necessarily a fatter brush per se, because depending on the company, it's, you know, I have a size 10 from Pana and I have a size 10 from Zulay, and the difference is huge. Like Zulay's brush looks like a number 8. It's super tiny compared to the Pana. So, you know, and then the one that I usually use is a number 12. It doesn't really look like a 12 because the bristles are longer. But I love that brush. Anyways, I love it so much that I ended up purchasing before and not knowing that they would stop selling the brushes. I still have a brand new Dashboard Beauty acrylic brush. I'm staring at it right now. I just I can't, I don't know. I don't have the heart to let go of the other one for some weird reason. Oh man. But yeah, taking care of your brushes, of your items. And I learned that too. You know who said that too? Christine Conjure. When she was doing the class, she, you know, she would constantly remind, you know, that cleaning properly the brushes, which I suck. Let's just be clear. My brushes, I'm just especially for nail, I can take good care of my acrylic brushes, but when it comes to my nail art brushes, I have such a such harsh hands that I just freaking, I don't want to say the word. I instantly kill my brushes. It's like, I don't know. It's horrible. It's bad, bestie. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm literally staring at like 4 brushes right now that I was using that they look freaking horrible. And you want to hear something funny? So as I was doing the class, right, with Conjure, I was like, man, I need to get in. And I even said it multiple times during the live. I was like, I definitely need better brushes. Yeah, I do need better brushes, but you know what? I need to take care of the ones I have. So I went on the rabbit hole and I started looking through Amazon of things that I needed to buy. And now I have to open I have like 2 drawers filled with gel polishes. I've given away a lot of them because again, I'm not into nail art like that, but I'm starting to. Like, I'm really excited for the next class. I'm not sure if I have the colors or not. I do, you know, I had to make this video because I want to have a video at least once a week for you guys. And that has made it a lot easier. I've been able to take time for myself, which I encourage you to do. Take time for yourself. It's so important. I've talked about mental health. I've talked about taking care of yourself. I talked about all these things. And trust me, it's needed. Okay? You need this. You need to take care of yourself. And I'm at a point where like I overworked myself for so long that now my body forces me to rest. Like, for example, this past weekend scenario, I worked really hard at work, and then I went to, taking my kids to the mall, and when I tell you, my head hurts, my feet hurt, my back hurt, everything hurts. So I was over. I was like, I'm not about to stand in front of the stove and start cooking. So we ordered food. I remember I took my medication, and shortly after, boom, I was sleeping. And then the next morning, I was like, oh, I'm going to get up and I'm going to clean. When I tried to get up from that bed, and I'm telling you that I couldn't. Like, my body would not let me. I was in so much pain. It was ridiculous. So I literally had to say, well, you know what? I guess I'll leave it for next week. And yeah, hubby did it for me. So I'm very grateful for that. But you need to make time, especially if you are over 35. And I'm saying this because I've been abusing my body since I was 30. And obviously these are the consequences when you overworked. I literally worked 6 days a week. I was doing 2 YouTube videos per week. I was doing all this other stuff, plus the regular stress from life. It's like my body literally said, you need to come the fuck down. Excuse my language, but let's just call it what it is. And yeah, that's technically what happened. And that's why I had to reduce my content to 1 video a week, because it's easier for me. Even if I do it, even if I'm not able to do it during the weekend for whatever reason, I'm still able to push out at least 1 video a week. Like today's Tuesday, so my videos go on Tuesday. So I have it's a shorter video. It's kind of a small haul where I think I showed you the things that I got after, because I remember I did a live where I showed the glitters and all of that. I think I showed the glitters in this video as well, for those of you who didn't watch the live. But yeah, definitely go back and check out my videos. I can use the watch hours. And let me know if you enjoy the content. Please do subscribe. I would love to have you here. You know what? I love having interaction with people. And lately, the past few videos, especially the more intimate videos, like for example, the video that I did as a tribute to my son. Oh my God, I got so much love from that video. I was so nervous. I remember posting the video, and people started watching the video, and I remember telling to I was on the phone because I'm always on the phone with my bestie. And I remember telling her I'm not ready to read the comments, because there's so much judgment out there in the world that you don't know, you don't really know until you see it. So it was so beautiful. Like, if you go back to that video, just to look at the comments, it was so beautiful. And I'm so grateful, because just because I'm talking about stuff to create awareness, like health-wise or mental health-wise, I am gaining a lot of viewers that can relate, and people that are looking for, being in a healthier, either physical or mental state-wise. And I freaking love that. So thank you for the opportunity to be your nail bestie. Thank you. I am very grateful, and I'm very excited. So if there's anything that you want me to talk about, definitely let me know in the comment section below, because you guys already know that I don't use music anymore. That's not a thing in this channel anymore. I'm not about to fight with YouTube with copyright, and no, I'm done with that. So if there's anything in particular that you want to talk about, maybe I can do some research, and maybe I went through the same thing, and maybe I can give you some word of advice. You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comment section below, because I've noticed that those interactions have been so, they've impacted my life in such a great way. And I am so grateful for each and every single one of you. Like, I'm so serious right now. I am very serious. Thank you so much for being so wonderful and so understanding. And, you know, thank you for being you. And that's what I care about. Because there's a lot of fake people out there. A lot. And it's kind of hard to take a, choose and kind of look into people, because a lot of people use this platform and they're so freaking fake. And I mean, sometimes I can spot them a mile away, but sometimes you're like, she looks nice. Maybe let's see what happens, But there's so much fakeness, and I'm a real person. Like, I've told you guys before, I live in the ghetto. I'll take a video if you want. I'll show you guys. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm broke. I'm not ashamed to say, hey, I'm depressed. I'm not ashamed of saying I have anxiety, or I suffer from PTSD, or I suffer from this, or I suffer from that, or all my health issues, which is a long list, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real person. I go through shit just like every other person. The only difference is that I have a thing for nails. I like doing nails, and I learned on my own. I'm not a nail tech, and I show you how I do things, and maybe that'll help you in your own nail journey. Maybe you don't like doing nails, and maybe you're just here for the conversation, which I'm very grateful that you're here for the conversations too. So whatever it is, the reason that you're here for, just know that I'm grateful. And I would really appreciate if you hit that like button, and leave me a comment. I love, again, having that interaction with you guys. Lately, I get more and more excited whenever I see comments, because I notice that the comments that I get lately, they're so encouraging, and I freaking love that. I actually bought a hoodie. I was scrolling on Instagram, and there was, how they promote like so much stuff on Instagram, and there's this particular hoodie. It is designed for, to give a message to people who suffer from depression, and have thoughts of, how can I say this properly, have thoughts of unaliving themselves. So it's such a beautiful hoodie. It's not that it's beautiful, it's a message within the hoodie. And I can't wait to get it. Because the second I get it, I got it a really big size, but I want to show you once I get it. But anyways, here is the finished look. I am loving these nails. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know which one was your favorite nail. I have to say, between both nails that I did the flowers, I'm going to point it out myself. The ring finger, the rose in the middle, is a little crooked. As you can see, it's not really in the center, which is regrettable to me. I don't like that part, but hey, we're human. We make mistakes. It doesn't matter. You got this, bestie. We got this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.